Ras, we have here banana bread and lemon bread.
Thank you.
Like.
So I will take that.
Fried banana, fried tofu, pinker. Tapi dia kenal tofu, seluruh dunia tahu tofu. Pinker itu jangan dulu.
Good morning, selamat pagi, assalamualaikum, makanan makan. So my name is Rose Chitanuwat. I'm going to be the moderator for the session today. Welcome to our CPhI Southeast Asia Digital event. Today is our special session, which is started by our largest country in our ASEAN group here. Together with me, I have our honorable guest speaker from Indonesia pharmaceutical industry. The topic today will cover all together till 12 noon. So it will be on the pharmaceutical industry movement in Indonesia, learning from our key stakeholders. So the first 45 minutes will be on the how COVID reshaping pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia by our GP Pharmacy, our friend in the industry of pharma. I will introduce the speaker later on. And 15 minutes, we are going to touch a bit on cellular interrogation breakthrough in drug discovery by BD Bioscience. And another last, we are going to talk about how Indonesia trade and what is GP pharmacy. Okay, this session is sponsored by BD Bioscience. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guest honorable speaker is ready to sharing with you. May I welcome our three gentlemen. So they are our great supporter for CPhI. The first one, Pak Pedro Kusnadi. He is the chairman of GP Pharmacy. GP Pharmacy is the Pharmaceutical Producer Association in Indonesia. The gentleman in the middle, Pak. Second one, Pak Kendra Riadi Suhanda. He is our well-wisher always for CPhI worldwide, and every CPhI we will see three of them. So the Deputy of General Secretary of GP Pharmacy and Chairman of PMMC Club. Okay, but Kendra is in the red color today. And the third one, Pak Vincent Haryanto. He is the Chairman Committee of Development of Trade and Industry of Raw Materials. So, Pak Vincent in gray color today. So, welcome three of you, sir. So right now I will pass the floor to Pak Tito to present about how COVID is reshaping pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia. Pak Tito, are you ready? I give the floor to you.
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning to everybody, especially all the participants coming from Southeast Asia. Is all of you is my good friend, and we are all in the same of the field of the business. That's mean in the pharmaceutical. Today, this morning, Ross from the CPhI or from the Informa, yeah, asked to Indonesian GP Pharmacy should be take some presentation regarding the situation after the COVID, or maybe slowly the COVID now a little bit less and less in Indonesia. And I think some country also going up, but in Indonesia slowly going down. I think I want to share to you what is the that means what is we are doing all the business of pharmaceutical during the COVID. This slide number 1. What are strategy for reopening post COVID-19? I think you know we all know about realize that the COVID-19 pandemic has made a very large and fundamental change. You know, everything will be changed, especially in every kind of business. But luckily, in the pharmaceutical, we are still can survive because of the pharmaceuticals is one of the very important product to support with the COVID-19. During the COVID-19 pandemic in early year 2020, pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia underwent very basic change because during the no COVID drug did not growing because we have a lot of the problem with the patient and the doctor and the services by the hospital. Have many patients afraid to visit the doctor for their illness, and then also they are always afraid also going to the hospital because they are afraid for contamination by the COVID in the hospital, because this is a very important during the COVID situation. Everyone afraid when they have the contamination by the other people is close to them, close to him, and also the situation in the hospital. Next. Yeah, and COVID drug. experiencing tremendous growing to the 3 until 7 times from before. This is very situation is very bad during the month of July until maybe August or September year 2020, because that time COVID was going up very fast until we cannot survive, or we cannot produce the drug or the vitamin for everyone they need. That's mean that time is very weak and very bad for our members, our members of GP Pharmacy, because demand suddenly coming until 3 to 7 times than from the normally or from the before. Second, many new medicine for the COVID are still very limited, because always we have the problem with the patent situation, and also very difficult to get the raw material to produce all the product or maybe all the medicine for COVID. It's especially July until September year 2020. But after that, we have everything ready, and then the situation will be normal again. But July, September, that means this look like the same as last year 2020. The situation also coming the same. That means that time COVID was very fast growing in Indonesia because of the situation, and also many people don't understand or don't want to understand regarding the COVID-19. That means that time the situation also very bad. But after September 2021, that means this year, we have to solve the problem, because our production become increase. And September 21 up now, that means December 21, COVID in Indonesia has declined. And the pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia is worried that the large stock of the COVID drug will be difficult to sell and distribute, and will even expiry date may be coming. It is one of the problem now with the industry. Our members, that's been thinking how to sell and how to distribute if the situation like that become decline. And government very happy. That means they can crash or decline the situation of the COVID. But the business in the pharmaceutical be afraid, because we maybe have the expired product is a lot, and the total value is not small, but it is very big. Lanjut. Mana?
Next slide.
Next slide. Berarti sudah dari dia berarti.
Iya, mungkin.
Yeah. Currently, the pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia is starting to get ready to the face of the new normal era. New normal era is for everyone also something new, but we are trying to adapt with the situation. And the fifth, in the preparation, everything is available with BBO, that's mean API. BBO means in Indonesia we call bahan baku obat, that's mean API. And we have the also packaging material, etc. We are still afraid with API. Yeah, and then the sixth, it is certain better Indonesian. There will be not shortage of the drug, and will still be able to deal with the now or the new normal situation. Next. Thank you very much for our presentation. I hope you can understand, and you can and we can discuss after this kind of presentation. I'm waiting for the time for discussion. Thank you very much.
So, since we have like time before we are going to next session, I will touch a bit on the COVID situation in this session before the second part. How is the COVID situation in Indonesia now?
The situation, government also afraid when the pandemic come again with the new virus or the new virus coming, you know.
You mean Omicron? Omicron?
Yes, Omicron. Yes, we are still very afraid because we don't know. It is we can get the how to make the drug, especially for Omicron. That means the number one government say, and we are also agree, everyone must be used masker because masker is number one to protect with everyone. Mask,
and, mask protect. But how is the country in general? It's already open for business traveler and doing activities as usual in December or still closing?
Yeah, we have already government already open, become the situation on the second or the first level. But during the close to the Christmas, that means 22nd of December up to the 2nd of January, government will be give again the situation is in the level 3. That means must be carefully on the movement people. Let's say from the one island who are very crowded, that means Java, maybe going to Bali, going to Sumatra, is controlled by the government very serious.
And any one of you can answer. You was mentioned about the drug delivery that
yes.
Patients are afraid to go to the hospital to pick up the drugs or see the doctor. So in Thailand or some country, we are doing like telemedicine. So delivery the drug to patients. How is the situation in Indonesia?
Okay, luckily, because before the pandemic, that means the business in the pharmaceutical doing all the member of GP pharmacy is already networking to distribute even to the small island. You know. That's, Indonesian is very difficult because we have more than 12,000 islands and maybe we have about 100 to 200 big island, mostly a lot of people living there. But we have already the network for distribution of the pharmaceutical. That means from the industry we are produced, and then after that we give to the distributors, or we call is wholesaler, and then wholesaler go to all the branch office in the whole of Indonesia, and from there they distribute again to the retail. That means apotheke or dispensary, and also going to drug house, and also going to the polyclinic, to the hospital, and so very far. But luckily we have already the networking like that. That's why for distribution of the vaccine, because we have in Indonesia this just only state company, or the own state company produce the vaccine. They have already the network also for distribute all the vaccine going to a small town or small island. Because before we also use a lot of vaccine, let's say maybe for polio, anti-polio, for MMR, and other vaccine. We have already, like the private company also, they distribute also vaccine, because Indonesia have a lot of Muslim, and then the Muslim must be going to the Egypt, to Egypt, Arab, for pilgrimage, and that the rule must be shoot by the vaccine of meningitis, and then Indonesia have a lot of meningitis vaccine going to all the people who want to go to the Arab Saudi. You know, that's why the business vaccine is already run in Indonesia. But of course, you know, we need more manufacturers produce the vaccine. And then now a lot of, not a lot, but some company already start to doing the business and build the manufacturer for vaccine.
So I'm interested to ask about the
telemedicine,
percent.
yes.
Yeah.
Telemedicine, we have several companies already, they're doing business with telemedicine. But again and again, slowly coming more aware the situation, you know. Because telemedicine also something new for all the Indonesian peoples, you know.
Yes, but Indonesia now using internet, I think 10 hours per day already. So you can be ahead and using even the e-wallet a lot now. So back to a bit on COVID, sir. Patato, how many percent of the COVID vaccine that in Jakarta now, or even in the big picture in the whole Indonesia, how many percent of vaccinated vaccine for citizens?
I think in Indonesia, especially for the big city, that's been the city capital of profit, mostly they have already vaccination to the people around 50 up to 60%, you know. And from the small village, it's difficult, but luckily, COVID not going there, but still government like to do the vaccination to the people who are living in the small area, in the villages, in the rural area.
And you mentioned that one state owner deliver the vaccine that is controlled by the Ministry of Public Health, and how CP Pharmacy working with this state-owned vaccine company?
Yeah, the vaccine company before until come to the pandemic of the COVID-19, you know, we just have only one. Is this the owned company by the government, state-owned company. But if we listen some discussion with the WHO is talking is, if possible, every country for 50 million population must be have at least one. In Indonesia have 250, 260 population.
So we must have
at
5.
least we must be 5. But now just one. But luckily one is already that's been prepare everything. You know, it's the good business for him, and also it's the good for ours. You know, because they have a lot of experience to produce and to distribute. And then during the vaccine for the COVID coming, they just distribute. But frankly speaking, all the vaccine for the COVID is imported.
So what type of vaccine you have now in Thailand? Yeah. Every type of vaccine.
Yeah, we have number 1 is Sinovac from China.
Sinovac, yeah.
And number 2 maybe Sinopharm, and the 3rd and 4th and all small coming from the American company like Pfizer, like Moderna, like also J&J, you know, Johnson & Johnson.
You have AstraZeneca?
Yeah, AstraZeneca. Yeah, AstraZeneca also. But again and again, for Sinovac, for Indonesian government and Indonesian people, it's more easy to handle because they can store it during the temperature 2 up to 8, you know. And all the people in Indonesia, they know how to keep the vaccine. It is in between 2 up to 8 centigrade, you know. But for Pfizer, for other company, especially mRNA, we must store it in the -70 and 80, you know. It is very difficult for us, frankly speaking. That's mean Indonesian government decide very good. We are import from the China, from the Sinopharm and Sinopharm coming very, very, very fast. Yeah, that's mean that kind of vaccine is inactivated. It is okay for us, because storage during the 2 up to 8 centigrade is easy. Everywhere they have the instrument and refrigerated to keep to keep all the vaccine. But for -70 until 80 is very difficult.
Yeah.
Until sometimes.
What I hear from you, it seems like the direction is go for the best for the country, because the infrastructure, the transportation and education on how to handling the mRNA seem to be difficult. Is this transportation or logistics would be the area that GP Pharmacy Group looking at the things that Indonesia pharmaceutical industry must be developed in the future, or how you see on
I think this is a comment for PMMC. Please, Mr. Kendra, you can answer all the questions from the house.
Yes,
regarding the distribution.
Thank you, Pak Kendra.
I think that you know that Pak Tito mentioned that we are a big country. We have around 70,000 islands. The problem is how we distribute the drug. Now it's COVID-19 to all islands. But luckily that we also have a good network, because before we distribute COVID-19, we also experienced to distribute other vaccines. So we already have infrastructure for that. That's why that if you say that this is difficult, yes, this is a big issue, but we can handle it. You can imagine that when the vaccine arrived from China, Sinopharm, we have already have a good plan to distribute it. And this is because if to keep quite long in the warehouse is not so good, because everybody needs it. So media, they look at our synergy between government and distribution company. I think this is a good question, and hopefully that in the future we can improve our distribution system, because you know that to distribute drug is different from other material.
So the distribution system for the vaccine, I could understand. What about the testing for the ATK or the PCR test of the COVID positive? Is this handling in the regional level, in the province, the test for positive COVID? It is in like state, in region, or how it's handled?
Yes, Ross, I think, regarding the test of the people who has the COVID or not, even by the antigen, or maybe or maybe by PCR, is all in Indonesia is already distributed until the province and maybe sub-province, and we are follow the government instruction, and also private company, they're doing the import of the material, and they distribute also to the small polyclinic, and also working together with the board of COVID in Indonesia. And we have, for the GP pharmacy, we have also the office in every province. They also help all the company who doing business with the pharmaceutical and vaccine together, thinking how to distribute, and they make look like a bridge, working together with the government, because we have also dinas kesehatan province of the services,
It's like sub-district.
Minister of Health in Jakarta, they have in every province, and working together with our members and our people who are pengurus Yeah, officials of the GP pharmacy people, members, they are working together.
So meaning GP pharmacy working a lot hand in hand with the government.
Yes.
During COVID, can you share more detail about this? Maybe can touch a bit on that.
Okay, sorry, Ross. We are just joke, you know. We with Pak Kendra say how much you want to pay for that. Okay. Frankly, you know, GP pharmacy is already exists in the country is already more than 30 years, you know. And then we are every 5 years we have the election who we become as a chairman of the GP pharmacy, and then who will be all the structure of the people who are working together until the province, you know. And then all the GP pharmacy in province always they have you know, and also try to working together with the government people in the province, you know. Look like you say, you know, hand by hand and working together, help together, you know, how to distribute pharmaceutical medicine or maybe the medical devices also, and also vaccine. We have the good relation.
GP pharmacy only on the medicine or medical device like the test kit and the mask as well?
Yeah, if we talk the mask is always business by the medical devices company, you know. But all the masks we can sell also, and you can buy also from the company who distribute the pharmaceutical, or we call it wholesaler of the pharmaceutical, because they are very simple. Everyone need mask, and then we can buy in everywhere.
Is the control pricing for the mask there?
No control price, but the market price. You know, if the stock a lot, maybe the price going down. But if the stock may be less, yeah, the price going up. It is demand and supply.
Okay. So now I will touch a bit on the treatment in my country, in Thailand, during the COVID this year. There is a lot of talk about having green chiretta, you know, the herbal, like the kampo or even a kariat, the herbal medicine. Like if you have it, it can protect and reduce your high temperature. About herbal medicine that used for treatment, what was happening in Indonesia?
Yeah, during the beginning, a lot of people bring the herbal medicine from China, but after our FDA, they analyze, you know, some inside is not good for the people, and then our FDA also very strict to control. That's mean the medicine, like we call the herbals, but inside sometimes they put also chemical. That's why.
Yeah, it's like from fertilizer. Right?
Yeah, better they buy vitamin from the pharmaceutical company.
Okay, and you the treatment here, like my country, I heard that very few country using, maybe not recommend, like favipiravir, the chemical favipiravir, the antivirus one. What is Indonesia, sir? So what?
Come again, Rose?
Favipiravir. It is the antivirus that import from India, not the herbal.
Antiretroviral.
That's
antivirus. Yeah. Favipiravir. Yeah.
Like favipiravir and so on.
Yes.
Yes, we have a lot of import from India at the moment.
Same, right? Have you produced in your country?
Yes, some we are produced already by the raw material we produce here. Like you know, apa yang sudah diproduksi? Oseltamivir is already produced here. Favipiravir, some also ready for produce. But again and again, sometimes we have the problem with the patented period. You know. But you know, India is very smart people there. They can discuss with the FDA. No, with the
WHO.
WHO should be produce no protection by the patent, you know. And then we buy from India the raw material, and then we produce here.
So is it enough in terms of the quantity for Indonesia in import, or how GP pharmacy helping in terms of the shortage of drug for the COVID treatment?
Yeah, I think now it's 50-50, you know, 50% imported and 50% already local manufacturers. That means we buy the API and then we produce here, packaging here and distribution here.
Yeah, so I will touch about API and about the production later in the next discussion. And
all right.
Now, before we are going to end this session and go to the second break with the BD Bioscience, but can you share with us how many members of GP Pharmacy? What is the key role of the GP Pharmacy in supporting the pharmaceutical industry?
Yeah, I think the industrial or maybe manufacturers, the member of GP Pharmacy, around or close to 200 manufacturers. From the 200, we have four. It is the government owned, that means state company. They produce also pharmaceutical and vaccine, and the rest is national pharmaceutical. And behind of that, we have also about 30 industry is owned by the foreign company or multinational. They have the also association. The name is IPMG, you know, International Manufacturer Pharmaceutical Group. International Pharmaceutical Group is separate by the GP Pharmacy, because that member is especially for the multinational company, or we call this foreign company, and GP Pharmacy especially just only local company or national company. And we have,
so the 200 members is only local producer.
Yeah, for produce. And then from 200 in industry, we use about 2,000 distributors. That's mean wholesaler.
Very
even
big.
Even the big one in close to Java Island, and small going to the villages and going to the rural area is totally about 2,000 wholesaler, and about 16,000 dispensary or apotheke, you know. And all
16,000.
Yeah, all this is member by the GP Pharmacy, you know. Because in the GP Pharmacy we have four department, you know, department industry, department distributor, department retail, and department retail is two, one pharmaceutical, that's mean apotheke or dispensary, and another is drugstore.
Oh, it's all under GP Pharmacy.
Yeah, under GP Pharmacy.
But so when you said 200 of members,
industry, yeah.
how many of them also having like API business?
Yes, frankly, Ross, all from the 200 company, we have the license is formulated. That means we have the raw material of API, and then we formulate till become the drug, you know, even tablet, capsule, syrup, injection, and everything. That means from the 200, only several, maybe 2 or 3, they have the division for start thinking about production of the API.
BBO, right?
Yeah,
BBO.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about B other? I think B other is excipient, I would say.
Yeah, excipient.
Many companies doing excipient among the member, or the B other.
Yeah, I think for the excipient we don't know exactly.
Okay, no problem.
But frankly, you know, like the state-owned company like Kimia Pharma, they have already working together with Sungun from Korea. They need here now about maybe 10 ingredients, not ingredient, 10 molecule of the pharmaceuticals.
Okay, so mean many companies start to expand. So now I'm going to touch the trend that happened. So many pharma companies now shifting themselves to do kind of health products like the herbal medicine. So the herbal medicine can also produce in the same factory of pharmaceutical factory, or they have to build another facility.
Of course, for the API, we must have the separate from the pharmaceutical formulation company, because they produce API. Must be they build the new and everything separate by the formulation building or formulation pharmaceutical company.
What about herbal medicines?
And herbal also separate.
Oh,
yeah.
So it cannot use the same facility.
Different license.
Ah, okay. And Indonesia is under PICS.
Yes, we are under PICS.
So the 200 members, 100% PICS.
Frankly, for PICS, maybe only 50% of the members, the rest just only GMB.
Okay, the investment must be very high for doing the PICS. Yeah. So,
frankly speaking, Indonesian pharmaceutical production is already in the top of the ranking. That means I think the country in the ASEAN, I think Indonesia is leading, because we start from the beginning. It's very serious for production, for build the manufacturer, for build the the formulation company. It started this already more than 40 years ago.
Okay, but for the factory, most of the factory is in Java, Surabaya, or which area?
Yes, most of the factory, 80% is in 80 to 90% is in Java. But Java divided by 5 provinces, Jakarta, special province, and West Java, middle of Java, Yogyakarta, and east of Java. That we have the 5 provinces in Java Island. And all the activity of the people and also the population, the total Indonesia, 60% is living in Java Island.
Okay, and Mercy, where is your sitting now? Is in East Java?
In the West Java.
West Java.
West Java.
Ladies and gentlemen,
now I'm sitting also in the Mercy Pharmaceutical. Now we discuss.
Yeah, so the 3 gentlemen is sitting now in the Mercy Pharma, which is one of the big pharmaceutical company.
Not one of the big, but we are one of the serious.
One of the serious. Okay, so anyone interested in Indonesia pharmaceutical, we can definitely approach the 3 gentlemen. So we are going to take a short break with the presentation by Bioscience, and we will come back with the serious question to the serious group of people on API, how business moves, and the over-the-counter pharmaceutical to understand the structure of Indonesia pharmaceutical in next 15 minutes. So right now, I'm going to invite the next session by our sponsor, Cellular Interrogation Breakthroughs in Discovery, Phenotypic, and Genotypic approach by BD. So ladies and gentlemen, let's join, and we come back to see 3 serious gentlemen in next 15 minutes.
Hello, I also want to thank the organizers for the invitation and organizing this fantastic conference webinar series. So today, I'm actually going to share some of our BDB solutions how that we can use these solutions to actually interrogate cellular via the phenotypic and genotypic approaches. To start off, okay, I think everybody should be familiar with the word translational research, okay, and translational research is actually transforming. So translational research means we are to bring some of this research from the bench to bedside. With that, actually impact our lives in bringing in this cutting-edge technology to improve life for a better quality of life. So over the years, translational research has transformed in the past. And then if we were to look in the past, translational research usually involves based on interrogation on the genomics and proteomics. Okay, as more of these known protein functions and these gene functions are being known, they are being categorized, and then what changes next is a system biology is being set up to interlink this interactive association and partnership between the proteins as well as the gene partners. Okay, that leads to the next phase of the translational research, where system biology can be interrogated, okay, by looking, okay, on some of this normality on the cellular differentiation. Example, looking at the stem cells in all the fields, and then also there's a development of gene perturbation that actually look at how of this functional way, if one of the genes is being affected, affects the system biology. And of course, recent years, there's a discovery of therapeutic intervention, which actually use as a form to actually treat cancer. Okay, so right now, we are currently in the translational research where the field has actually evolved to unravel heterogeneity of cell population and tissue microenvironment by integrating the cells at a single cell resolution on a multi-omics approach. This multi-omics approach is actually a combinatory of looking at the phenotypic changes and the genotypic changes within a single cell. To start, we have the collection devices, which comprises of the blood collection and the tissue dissociation reagents. For the blood collection, okay, you can see that they actually belong to the BD vacuocana family. This is actually trusted by many of the leading hospital and research institutes. This dissociation reagent is actually gentle on the tissue, allowing maximum cell yield and minimize cell death. Our in-house R&D has also provided proof that using this Horizon dry tumor dissociation reagent can work on various sample type and tissue type. Okay, whatever being collected can be used for single cell studies. This in return will provide an accurate in your single cell study or even bulk cell study by maintaining the heterogeneity and the diversity in the samples. Next, moving to cell staining. Okay, the cell staining actually comprises several reagents. Some of these reagents can be of antibodies, which can be customized. There's also dyes and other forms of associating reagents that comes together to stain the cells. I want to introduce to you our BD Horizon Brilliant dyes. This dye actually provide a brighter aspect from dim cells. How does it do that? By using this unique polymer dyes that is developed by the Syringen companies. These unique dyes provide a brighter view than the conventional dye, which is one of the breakthrough in the particular field. Okay, so the key components of this Horizon dyes is that it is actually ready to use, and then it provides some standardized panel that you can use it across laboratories and multiple sites, having consistency results. And of course, we also provide a dry reagent offering, which is stable, and we guarantee that the performance At room temperature could be kept up to a year. Okay. Moving on, I would like to introduce our flow cytometry system. Okay, so in this flow cytometry system, if you can imagine, after obtaining and preparation of samples, you might want to think about how do you want to capture these stained cells, having some quantification measurements on this particular sample to interrogate the phenotypic profile of this sampling cells. Okay, so we have two cell sorters, which I want to introduce to everybody. The first one, which is actually the BD Melody, and then the second one will be the BD Fax Lyrics. For the BD Melody, it is actually a benchtop size flow cytometry sorter that comes with big features. Okay, it can be configured into 3 spatial separated lasers and detect up to 9 colors. You can enjoy the ease of using this particular cell sorter because of its automated startup and guided workflow for less expert flow sorter users. Its high performance will provide an excellent sensitivity, and this sensitivity upon gating, you can actually collect them into tubes and plates. Reliability, definitely it provides reliable results because there's an inbuilt advanced QC and compensation setup for assurance for any of this experimental success. Definitely for the next few points, BDB actually provide a very good customer support with our experience, application and service support to be there should there be a service call up. Okay, so finally for the BD Melody, if you are looking at a more safely operating setup, you can always customize the BD Melody into a customized biological safety cabinet that can provide both the operator safety as well as the sample protection, providing you a peace of mind during the experimental workflow. Okay, moving on to the BD Fax Lyrics. Okay, it has very similar features to the Melody, but for the BD Fax Lyrics, it actually provides a more flexible and automated approach to streamline most of the laboratory workflow. The system itself is also enable the assay flexibility upon setup, and you can use it, this assay setup, and you can use it across collaborative and standardization in various laboratories. A little bit more in depth on the assay setup is that if you can look at one of the assay that's being set up in the Fax Lyrics, okay, you can actually export the assay and connect the assay to the various system of Fax Lyrics across any collaborating laboratory sites. Okay, this will again enhance and maximize your collaborations with your collaborators and consistencies of results among multiple sites. So far, we have covered the sampling preparation, okay, reagents and system to use to interrogate cellular phenotype. Now, I would like to introduce our multi-omics single cell system that actually use to interrogate both the phenotype and the genotype at single cell resolution. So 2 things I'd like to share. Okay, first is the particular system, which is the BD Rhapsody system. Okay, and then second will be the BD EPSIC antibody oligonucleotide conjugates antibodies. Okay, so this is actually the BD Rhapsody system, comprises of this particular scanner and the BD Express kit. Okay, so most of the single cell capturing is actually captured within the the cartridge itself. This cartridge is actually used to be loaded on into the Rhapsody Express kit, which at various points where you would like to QC your single cell captured, this further cartridge can be loaded on into the scanner to look at the various QC steps within your single cell assay, capturing not only the viability of the cells, okay, the number of cells that is being captured within each of this micro well, okay, each of this well that is being paired with the particular beads for capturing as well as retrieval of these single cells. Moving on, next will be the BD-EPSIC, okay, which is actually used in conjunction with the BD Rhapsody system. Okay, the BD-EPSIC is just any normal antibody, but conjugated with oligo. Okay, so this actually provide a multi-omics solution for single cell analysis. So if you are looking at the phenotypic, you can always stain the cells with the antibodies conjugated with the oligo. Okay, this will provide, okay, once the cells is being captured, you will have the protein expression as well as the lyse cells RNA expression to be captured onto the particular BD barcode beads that we have, which the next few steps you will need to generate NGS library followed by sequencing. So in the first case scenario, okay, you may opt for this synergism, okay, between the flow system as well as the single cell capture system. So in the flow system, you can utilize some of these antibodies to stain for your sampling, okay, put through the flow system, okay, enrich the population of cells that you required, collect them through the tubes, okay, or in plate format, okay, and then using those captured cells or enriched or sorted cells, you load it into the BD cartridge, and using the BD cartridge to capture each of these single cell on the micro well, okay, followed by generating the NGS library, sequence, and look at the sequencing output through our informatics softwares. Okay, so a little bit cartoon of a snapshot, what happens within each of these micro well. Okay, so what happened here is each of these single cell is being captured into each of these small little tiny micro well. Okay, so if you can imagine that you have protein stain on the cells, okay, that actually comes with the conjugated oligos. When the cells are being lysed, the genetic materials within the cells, which is in form of mRNA, are actually released together with this oligo conjugated, are also being captured onto this particular BD barcode beads, where the downstream, with a series of PCR and NGS library construction, okay, the single cell library will be ready for sequencing. Okay, so this is just a summary of how the single cell workflow, analysis workflow works. Okay, first you have the sample preparation on the EPSIC. Okay, it can be a form of dissociating, okay, followed by the EPSIC staining. Okay, when you use that, these samples are ready, you load it into the particular cartridge and it's used to be captured single cell, okay, followed by collecting of that single cell genetic material, generating the NGS library, putting through the Illumina sequencing, and then we have the pipeline, bioinformatics pipeline that actually process the libraries into format which you can use for data analysis on our SeaGeek platform. Okay, so speaking of the SeaGeek platform, it comes to our last solution that we'll be offering. Okay, it is more on the informatics, okay, and analysis software that's being used. Okay, so predominantly two analyzing software algorithm. First will be the FlowJo, okay, which is mainly used for flow system analysis to study the flow cytometry on immunophenotyping. Okay, you can also look at assays such as cell cycling, proliferation, kinetic study, quantification of population comparison, and even plate screening. For the SeaGeek, it is widely used to analyze the sequence library that is captured on a single cell. In summary, we offered various solutions to enable scientific discovery or interrogation of markers of interest. So we talk about sampling collection and tissue dissociation reagents. We also talk about the cell staining reagents, such as our antibody and dyes, flow cytometry system to enrich the heterogeneity cell population to pure population, our multi-omics single cell system that enable us to capture single cell resolution for genotypic and phenotypic profiling, and our informatics software that aid in analyzing your research experiment runs. And I'm happy to take any questions.
So, all right, thank you very much to BD Bioscience for sharing very in detail cellular interrogation. So right now we come to the last session of today's on the pharmaceutical industry movement in Indonesia, sponsored by BD Bioscience and organized by Informa Markets and supported by CPhI SEA, the Pharmaceutical Manufacturer Association in Indonesia. Together with me, we have Pak Director, Pak Vincent, and Pak Kendra, who is the our partners in Indonesia from CPhI SEA. So right now, I think we want to invite the three gentlemen back into the discussion session now. So right now, I think we are waiting for, okay, good morning again. The series.
Good morning.
Okay. Okay, right now we are going to ask back a bit more in detail about how to get the audience, which is in the CPhI Southeast Asia platform, to understand the business opportunities in pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia. Firstly, I would like to ask Pak Teto to share a bit more on how is the activities happen in CPhI SEA and what is the planning on the activities that as the chairman and the board member here to do for the pharmaceutical companies.
I think, Ross, we have already explained to you before. But
No, I mean on the activities.
Yeah, all right. On the activities, that means we have the schedule for meeting within every years. That means we must have at least 12 times meeting with the
I remember I joined one time on your Hari Raya celebration in 2019. Kind of the activity of in pharma gathering.
Yeah, maybe I can answer.
Of course, that's okay. Maybe Pak Kendra can answer.
Yeah, you know that Rose, yeah, we have so many activities. The activities related to COVID, that we also help government to support from vaccinated people, vaccination people, and we also support the government for the old people, vaccinated old people, and now it's starting for the young and people. That's our activities during the COVID. But I see also also have activities for what we call it CSR. CSR. We also do many things because in this COVID era, there's some people need our help. Not waiting, but we have to do right now. That's what we did. So we cooperate with. I think in your country also they have a branch there. What we call it. What is SOS Student Village? SOS Student Village you have also there. I think you have a big one in Indonesia and in Thailand. We support them because they have so many children there.
That's one of the C's.
There's one.
It's like the homeless children that you support, right?
Yes. You have visited them. Remember?
Yes, I visit the GP pharmacy group doing a lot of support to the children that has no mother, father.
Yeah. You visit
And
us.
give them
You have a
scholar,
visit there.
yeah.
I remember. So
Yeah.
so many activities, Rose.
And also, Ross, we are active to be made close to the governments because we need when the government wanted to publish the new regulation should be discussed first with GP pharmacy. That's mean the rule or or maybe the regulation must be is can implement it or not. But if the regulation cannot implement it, what for they make the new regulation? That's why up to now, when our FDA they want to make the new regulation regarding the system of production, control of production, and selective of the PBO. Yeah, I think you understand what PBO. Yeah. That's mean everything we like to be, participate in the final discussion, And after that, I think, all the regulations should be adopted by all the members in our members of GP Pharmacy. And of course, also with the Minister of Health, if they want to make a new regulation, we ask already, please, can sit together in one table, discuss first, it is a good or not the new regulation. Yeah, if like everything we learn and is okay, maybe we say, please, you can publish the regulation. This is one of our activity, and also almost we also together with the government looking the situation of the medical services in Indonesia, because we say to the government, don't be afraid with the resiliency, don't be afraid with resiliency, because we have all the manufacturers still only 60% we produce with the capacity. We still have 40%. That's mean the capacity for production again. That's why when the government needs some project and need more the pharmaceutical or drugs, we ready for produce, because we have still idle capacity around 40%. That means we call is resiliency. Don't be afraid, And also availability, we ask to the government, don't be that means afraid with availability, because we are ready to produce, And now 90% of the pharmaceutical government or public need is already produced by the local company, by the national company, even on the generic or maybe on the branded generic. We have already 90% of that means the country need, pharmaceutical. We have already supplied 90% from all our members, together. That means we ask to the government, please don't be afraid with the resiliency and also availability. This is one of our thinking together, how to protect and how to make the government is believe us, believe all our members, for production. We have about 10 big company in Indonesia, export also very big, go to outside, and also they have we call is all the national need the drug be ready for production.
All right, that's also one of the reasons that your Ministry of Public Health is going to organize the health business gathering in Bali next week.
Yeah.
On 3 to 5 of December.
Yeah.
That's our ministry also get the letter invite from Bali as well.
Yes, we are also coming to Bali. Tomorrow I'm flying to Bali.
Yeah. So any Thai audience that are going to join and hear the business gathering in Bali could see Pak Tito and Pak Kendra and Pak Vincent there.
Yeah. We are going to Bali tomorrow, and we
Okay.
wait until because the Minister of Public Health also invite me. Should be coming and we make some presentation also regarding the pharmaceutical in Indonesia.
Yeah, Pak Tito, when you touch a bit on the export, there is the audience asking the question immediately on. Can you tell us more about the export that you are doing now, mainly in which part of the pharmaceutical?
Yes, we have also a company export to abroad, for the several medicine, and also Mercy, also a lot of export, but just to the member of the Asian country, and offside, but not too much. But the Asian members.
It is the contract manufacturing type of business or the generic drug selling?
Now we under the generic branded with the name, and also just only a generic, no problem.
Yeah, so that's very good news that Indonesia, with the standard of production that you have to supply the pharmaceutical products in our ASEAN country. This is
right.
helpful. Okay, so any one of you can answer. This is the recommendation answer from you guys. There are a lot of companies attend to understand a bit more if I am selling API and want to really get business in Indonesia. What is your suggestion?
Vincent will answer.
I think the domain of the BPO is Pak Vincent. Pak Vincent.
All right. Please.
Ross, if you are talking about the BPO, about the API.
Correct, BPO, sir, not the finished dosage.
Okay. As you understand that we, Indonesia, we still import 90% of the API of the BPO. So if you are talking about the company who manufacture the API, and then they would like to enter into Indonesian market, actually it is no problem. Let me tell you a bit what happens in, let's say, 20 to 30 years ago. Indonesia, when we start with the local manufacturing, as Pak Tirto mentions, that we have almost 200 pharmaceutical industry. And then we import 90% of the API.
BPO.
Of the BPO, yeah. So previously, I mean, 15 to 20 years ago, we import BPO, especially from Europe, Germany, you name it, France, and then Italy, Holland, etc., from European country. Of course, less from US. But now situations is of course changed.
Totally changed.
We now import almost 90% from China and India. The remaining 10%, of course, still from European countries. If we compare between China and India, of course, if we said that 90% from India and China, almost 60% came from China, and the remaining 30 or 40% from India. That is the situation. So if you are now talking about a company try to export the BPO to Indonesia, actually,
yes, sir, correct.
it is no problem. No problem.
Still no problem.
you have to first, of course, send all of the documentations first. And we always study. And then later, if it is acceptable, then they always ask you to send a sample. We have a very stringent QA and QC. So it is not easy because, but BPOM is the local FDA is also very tight. Even if we want to change the BPO. Therefore, if we are talking about the market is quite big. Total market of pharmaceutical industry in Indonesia is around $6 billion. Total market of formulations. If we are now talking about the BPO, maybe it's around 20% or 20 to 30%. It means from 6 billion total market formulations, if it is 30%, it should be around 1.8 to 2 billion US dollars. So the market is still there. The only problem is the quality of the BPO, the documentations, and then they have to test first with that. But last but not least, price is the most important consideration. You know that previously, if we are talking about, you name it, paracetamol, previously maybe like books or any other company, now the price is really only maybe 20–30% of the previous price from European manufacturer. That is also one most important thing. So if you said that in the country, whether it is Thailand or any other Southeast Asian countries who also participates in this meeting, I believe that when they say that they would like to export the BPO, definitely that they will also import the intermediate process. Is it right? It is very difficult because they will buy also the intermediate either from India, if available, or especially from China, because we also understand that even BPO manufacturer in India, they still import the intermediate from China. So the competition is very tight, and especially because our R&D, research and development, and research assurance is also very strict because we have to follow with all of the regulations set by the local FDA here. So if we are talking the market is still big, but of course the competitions, because we understand that we now starting producing also our BPO. As Pak Tirko said, actually we have a long time ago, we manufactured already paracetamol.
Yeah.
Locally. So I don't know whether the participants of this meeting in your country or other Southeast Asian countries, they are also interested to export the paracetamol, for example.
I think the question will come next on the formulate form.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do all of the formulations, but we can buy from any country actually the BPO. You know, like paracetamol, for example, we need thousands tons of the product.
Per month?
6,000, 5,000 to 6,000 tons
per year.
Per year. Okay.
Daily consumption. It's big. If we are talking about the other BPO which have been manufactured,
yes,
it is started as Pak Tirto said, it is started already by one of the government-owned company, Kimia Pharma, for example. The cooperation, the joint venture between Kimia Pharma and Sunwoo. So they Korean company, they established now Kimia Pharma Sunwoo Pharmacopoeia. There are several items they manufacture and they are going to manufacture. For example, simvastatin. They manufacture this, and then they are trying to manufacture also the other items, like whether it is atorvastatin or also clopidogrel, etc.
Yeah.
There are many also local company who are interested. It is only a matter of how the government can help us to manufacture.
Yes.
Now, it is also a good information for you that the government now applied already what they call it a TKDN. So the local content. So if the government would like to buy the finished product in a tender system or whatever, they also consider the local content done by the manufacturer. So if they can use the local content, they can have a great percentage of the content and then great possibility to win the tender. Because the local content comprise around 50 to 60% of the percentage of the total finished product they would like to sell. So to answer the questions of the who are interested, I think it is no problem. But competition is there. We import from China, so they have to look first how they can compete with China. But
Yes.
Please answer that these companies are also importing the intermediate from China.
Okay. So to clarify the understanding, API the BBO seller need to have register company to register the product first, or they can register directly with BPOM?
No, because the most important thing is after we check the quality, etc. Because we are the manufacturer is the one who will handle all of the registrations of the finished product using that BBO. There is no registration number so far.
All right. Okay.
BBO.
Yeah. But for the drug, for the finished drug.
Of the finished drug.
Question is under the decree of 10/20/2008, I think. If any import drug into Indonesia, it needs consent by local producer, and it must be used for public health only. It is correct understanding, I would say.
Okay. Maybe I can explain you, Rose.
Thank you, sir.
The regulation we call is 1010 regulation. That means is the product all the drug for imported must be registered by the pharmaceutical factory or plant. Because
in Indonesia.
Yeah, in Indonesia. That means any kind of industry pharmaceutical from abroad want to come to Indonesia to enter the market in Indonesia must be process of registration through the manufacturer pharmaceutical. You know why? Because the pharmaceutical manufacturers they have all the facility, even laboratorium and everything. They can check that the product is compliant with the regulation or not. This is the gain from the governments, and also we are as the as all the member of the pharmaceutical factory in Indonesia, also don't want, if let's say just only wholesaler, they registered, and then they don't have any lab as a manufacturer they have. That's why must be through the pharmaceutical industry who has the license by on the standard of GMP by our FDA, and then we can register. After registered, we can import and market in Indonesia.
Yeah, and to clarify to the audience, that's also need the technical transfer to the local manufacturers within years. That is the same 1010.
Yeah. For the finished product, I think we don't need the transfer technology, but you must fill all the form. Look like maybe you must explain everything, in the form,
like
and apply to the FDA.
Okay, but the question is, normally how long BPOM will approve?
Yeah, it is a depend of the company. If they have everything the government need or the FDA need, well, maybe 2 or 3 months is finished,
Okay.
But if they're asking some document and you don't have, and asking again to the manufacturers abroad, and then coming 2-3 weeks, and some is not complete, must be this and that, is depend of the company. If the company they have the documentation right and strong in the documentation, I'm sure within less than 6 months we can get the numbers.
Okay, thank you, Pa. So next question is about the COVID situation, push many regulatory and companies doing more of digital things and do remote audit. So what is happening in Indonesia right now, Pa? It's like there is any, if cannot travel to Indonesia, any on the remote audit, or can submit document through online?
Rose, we become familiar with this situation. So you see that like today that we can talk although different countries, but everybody in Indonesia, especially for pharmaceutical industry, we familiar with Zoom meeting or webinar, etc., etc. So I think that this is also very efficient and also effective. I think it is a good part of COVID-19.
So meaning now they can do mobile audit and digital implement and the
BPOM. Sorry, you talk is about the abroad going to outside Indonesia or just traveling for inland?
From abroad going in.
Yes, we have the rule, controlled by the board of the COVID control, That means like yesterday, like yesterday, we just only quarantine of the people coming from the outside for 3 days. But start from this morning become 7 days because of the government afraid with the new COVID,
Omicron.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is from audience, Park. It's like about the submit of the document. So they want to get the idea now. They have to go and submit to BPOM, or they can do filing online, or anything's happening. Like if you are interested.
Yeah, I think you can also apply and then buy the Zoom meeting also. No need to come to our BPOM, because all now on in the computerized.
Yeah. So I put this way, but if they want to get advice, which department of GP pharmacy that could be provide service to the importer to the exporters of BBO?
BBO is a little bit easy than compared to the finished product imported.
Understand.
BBO so far after the analyzed by the by the lab, and then all the specification is okay, and then the document is okay, and then we have the sample we can also use here, and then if the quality is okay, we can import, you know, no
And
problem.
it's all in English, right?
Of course, in English, you know.
Okay. All right.
In Thai character, maybe nobody know.
Some country they need their local language. That's what I translate for some the session already. So now question to the audience. Yes,
I would like to add one more point.
please.
The general guidance from the government, and especially in this case FDA, importations of BPO is of course we are still interested, but the importations of finished products, actually it is discouraged by the government, because almost all of the 200 pharmaceutical industry can manufacture the finished products with formulations. If we are talking about the importations of the finished product, of course, we are interested in not the ordinary or old items, but we are interested in the new item, new advanced item. That is important. If we are talking about oncology product, for example, it is still not too many. Antiretroviral products, of course, this can be analyzed, it can be discussed. So there is still possibility to import the finished product, which, as you mentioned, that many of the members are also interested to do the export to Indonesia. So that is the difference. If we are talking with old products like paracetamol, mefenamic acid, etc., so of course that this is discouraged by the government, because we are able to manufacture it ourselves, and we, as Pak Tirto said this morning, that we can cover almost 90% of the
market.
Of the market.
So, but it's very huge, very big number. That's what I would say. That's why people asking any opportunity. So
of course, because we have only 270 million people.
Million.
So I think 4 times bigger than Thailand.
Yeah.
Everyone looking at Indonesia, like what CPhI has been done. We want to really get people into Indonesia, and definitely even we move to the easier traveling country like Thailand. We looking forward to have GP pharmacy with us in Thailand as well. Okay.
But frankly, Ross, if you look from the presentation, Thailand is more good than Indonesia. I think you.
It's about traveling.
You are not very small, you know, but you are about 1/4 of Indonesia. That means if you have already $3 billion, means it's 12 billion. Indonesia have only 6 to 7 billion. Is you still very big?
Yeah.
Can you answer, Ross? How is the market now in Thailand?
In Thailand.
1.9 million. Yeah, about that.
1.9 million what?
Yes.
I think more than that.
No.
Billion.
190,000. It is in baht, you know.
Oh.
190.
Oh, if we say in rupiah, it should be 90 trillion rupiah.
Yes, about
trillion,
that.
not only billion.
Yeah. Okay. Now question. Actually, there are some Thai entrepreneurs. They ask like about the decree 1010. But Toto already answered. So they want to understand a bit more on in terms of the selling pharmaceutical. Like in Thailand, most of the pharmaceutical go through hospital, 80%. Over the counter is about 5%. How is the structure of pharma in Indonesia? But hospital.
Yeah, for going to the market, the first we must register, and after register, our FDA they mentioned this is a free market with the green dot, and the free but very controlled is on the blue dot, and apa produk obat restricted drug is on the red dot. You know, from the three, green, blue, and red. If you have a green, you free. You can sell to dispensary, to small shop and everything. But if in the blue, you can sell also through the small shop, but must be control of the quantity. And then the red dot must be through the dispensary, hospital, or polyclinic who has the pharmacist as a responsibility.
Okay.
I think this is a standard, you know.
Yes. And how is the pharmaceutical in hospital has been chosen to use in the governmental hospital? It's going to the state-owned manufacturers or?
No. They must be by the finished product, you know. Every hospital, they have department name is moment. We call is the installation of pharmacies, you know. That means in that department must be have the pharmacist as the responsibility, and then they look all the prescribed by the doctor for the control drug, and the rest is, I think, follow the system. You know. We must have every hospital. We call is the pharmaceutical installation. You know. That means especially they put all the medicine, all the drug in their department.
Yeah, like in Thailand, sell into the hospital, government hospital. It has to go through governmental pharmaceutical organization or GPO. That's why the question asks about how is Indonesia.
I think Indonesia, it is we are now follow the tender system. This published and also by the governments. If we can win on the tender, that means our product is open for whole Indonesia. They can just order to us directly, and we can supply.
So any can supply as far as it in government tender.
Yeah. As far as you are winner in the government tender, and they put in the system of the computers, that means you can order by computer. Orders you can orders by through the online, but directly to this kind of responsibility by the government.
But what about the imported drug that local cannot produce? It's the same system.
Is you know, you have the product, that means imported product, but in Indonesia no one produce this. You can register, still must be registered, but the procedure is maybe more easy because we need, especially when we need that drug, you know.
Similar to COVID vaccine.
Yeah, I think like that.
Yeah.
We have also the system during the COVID from the FDA, local FDA, we call it a BPOM.
BPOM, yeah.
It also apply EUA, so emergency use authorization.
Yes.
You can also apply this to try to enter with a shorter time registration.
Yeah, it is similar everywhere for EUA, Vietnam and Thailand as well. All right.
And also for the government need, you know, we have also SAS, you know, that's mean special access scheme, you know, especially for the government. When the government need, they can buy from the local, but on the scheme of SAS. You know. SAS.
That is authorization by the president.
Yeah, by the government, you know.
Same. All right. So another three questions, but I think Pak Vincent would be on this one, or I am sure. What is the key drug therapy that Indonesia is now using for COVID?
What product?
The key therapy drug for COVID now in Indonesia.
Obat yang paling
The treatment of
Key
COVID.
therapy. Oh, key
Ya.
therapy. Yang kemarin itu apa Menteri mau segera buat apa namanya?
yang sebenarnya
Ini ya,
Ya kimia,
Kimia.
langsung kimia.
itu molnupiravir.
Ya, mono apa?
Molnupiravir.
Molnupiravir, you know, it's number one now in Indonesia. You know? Molnupiravir. Favipiravir still maybe second or maybe third, you know.
Of course, that what we are trying to find is that it is no longer the injectable ones. Like Pak Tirta said, molnupiravir is actually the oral one.
Yeah.
So we let the people who are sick during because of the COVID, so they can do
By themselves.
by themselves at home.
Yeah, at
So
home.
not necessarily they go to the hospital.
I think they are still patented by the Mark Sharp and Dom, you know, MSD.
Yes. Yeah. MSD is still patent on that. But MSD is existing local in Indonesia, right?
Yeah, they have the company in Indonesia also.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of type of drug is still imported, you know.
Okay.
That's what I said, that of course for the new product, of course we are very interested in importing in comparison with the old products. For the new products, and the government, of course, they can give us the license of the importations for the new.
Okay. So my last question to three of you. This is the crucial of the CPhI digital event. We are addressing to every country that we import a lot of API, BPO. We import a lot. And there is some discussion on drug security, like what happened in Vietnam, Thailand was talking about biosimilar and herbal medicine. How is Indonesia, sir?
Rose, I'm trying to answer first regarding to the girl. Yeah? Of course, that in Indonesia now we have around more than 30,000 species of plants. Among that, we can try to find around 9,000 species of the plant that we can use for medicine. If we are talking about the market of the herbal, if we are talking about 6 billion for the chemical, it's only around maybe around 20%. So the market itself is around only 1.2 billion. Still quite something. But of course that we at the moment we have already around 900 companies. We call it jamu,
herbal.
traditional medicine. So jamu is herbal. This is used for traditional medicine.
And the last one, we have omai. That means obat, drug, modern, is modern. A is asli, that means originally. I is Indonesia. That means the modern medicine original Indonesia. It is the new one of the government published, you know, OMAI.
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 Yeah, OMAI. This O.
It is just recently set up for OMAI.
Huh?
Just set up not long ago.
Yeah. Just start from the 2 years ago, you know, government
Oh, okay.
mentioned about the OMAI. That means, you know, the jamu, but must be standardized. Yeah, not just only take from the plant and then make the jamu, but must be standardized.
Standardized from growing,
Yeah.
breed, fertilizer.
Yeah.
everything.
After that,
Yeah.
we say obat modern asli Indonesia. Oh my. Obat mean is drug,
Medicine.
medicine. M is modern. A is asli of original, and the meaning of asli is original, and Indonesia.
Okay. What about biosimilar?
Rose, that biosimilar is I think,
Start also.
is our future product. So everybody try to go to that product. So Indonesia also the same as other country consider biosimilar is our future product.
Because we have audience from Japan, Korea also in the platform.
Yeah, they can
Discussion
also
on bio. Yeah.
they can also share to us. They can share to us because yes, you know that we have more than 200 company. I think they are also interested to have to know about that.
Yeah. So all right. So terima kasih. Thank you very much, Pak Kendra.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Pak
you.
Vincent. So anything for the audience, ladies and gentlemen, please reach to CP Pharmacy gang. I would say gang. So they are serious people in pharmaceutical industry, and they have the magazine as well, PMMC. If you would like to know more about it, you can reach to Pak Tito, Pak Vincent, and Pak Kendra. Today, on behalf of CPhI Southeast Asia, thank you very much. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you for the great session.
Okay. Lapar loh. Makan